Hi everybody, it's me Legado Laxon, also known as Chino. I'm doing a retro classic review on a console, which I've already done on the Neo Geo Pocket. They have a game console called the Panasonic 3DO, the real 3DO, interactive multiplayer, FZ1. This console was underrated, undisputed, one of the champions. It's actually before the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn during that genre. During its price tag, it was one of the most expensive consoles, released around in the $500 range, or almost to even $1,000. They even have a gold star system. I have all my retro systems connected with my Dreamcast, my Xbox One, my PlayStation 2, and my Dreamcast, my Super Nintendo, and my other consoles all connected into one PC. And entonces, ¿sabes qué? Tenemos muchos juegos. I have a lot of games for it, but I still have to dig into my storage bin of what games I have. What I found right now with this console is a rare masterpiece that was the only game that was released on a console before the PlayStation came out. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. They had Super Street Fighter 2 released on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and other consoles, but this was the first title that was released on Turbo. And you can hear the soundtrack, it's really different. This console was very underrated. It's identical to, here the soundtrack is very different. This is a 6-button game, but it has 3 buttons here, 2 buttons over here, and in order for you to play second player, because if you look in front of the console, there's the other controller port. Stop and play, looking like a CD player remote control. The D-pad is very comfortable. So we're playing it right now, see? They actually had a re-release, well I better turn it off, very loud. Alright, just to tell you that this game, they actually released a special controller for it. It was kind of weird. I don't know if it actually has the ad, does it? The special 6-button controller ad. 6-button control pad offer. But it doesn't show how it looks, but it has a very interesting menu and very high. They had other fighting games released on this console called Way of the Warriors. If you notice that the people who developed Way of the Warriors were the people who developed Max Payne. Payne was actually the military guy, I think. I don't recall. But game developers did everything they can to make titles for this console. Most titles that was released on this console was mostly PC based. Whatever that was released on the PC, they released it on this console. They already had the Amiga 32 CD based, but it was more like a 486 system. But this console was the Pentium, comparing PC wise on playing games. And the games I have right now, I got Daedalus Encounter, which was also released on the PC. I do have that title on the PC. I made a review. If you look at my account, I actually have this game. Yeah, that's the Windows version. They also have a Mac, which was actually designed for. Oh god, it came out. Oh my god, I only got a few minutes while making these videos. But all my games are backed up. If they get scratched up, I actually have an extra copy of the game. Entonces, tenemos más juegos. I got more games right here. Competing against Star Fox, they have Total Eclipse. With bad marketing, it was not really marketed too much, but this game was better than Star Fox. It's like playing a PlayStation 1 game before PlayStation 1 came out. Jurassic Park was released on DVD years later, but back then they had VHS and they made an interactive game. It was an adventure game, kind of whack, very boring gameplay. What else? The price tag on this console ranged about to $500 and up, I believe, until the console became a $49 system. I even have Syndicate, one of the early strategy games, cyberpunk thrillers. I love this game. I'm not really the Part 1 fan. I was a big fan of the sequel called Syndicate Wars that was released on DOS CD-ROM and even PlayStation 1. This is Syndicate Wars. This is a sequel, but for the PC platform. But as you can see, I have it on the 3DO system. This game was released in multi-platforms, as in even on the SNES and Sega Genesis. Hell, the cyberpunk thriller starring Dennis Hopper. this game was one of the coolest games, you know, very, very controversial, you know, violence. I believe it was also banned in a few countries. Then they made a PG-13 edition of this game. But this is the rated R or unrated version because back then the teen and up or whatever logo used to look like this. And it stars Dennis Hopper. It also stars Stephanie Sitmore, Grace Jones, and Geoffrey Holder, I don't know. But it was released by Take-Two, the people who worked on Halo. And look, there's characters right there, very high 3D, but it's nothing but you know, it's very, 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 very violent. I even have another game called Twister. It's a game show. You can use this with multi-controllers, or you can pass the controllers to one another. It's a very, very full motion video game, and it runs very good. These are full motion based games. I have more games in storage. I just don't know where I put them. Right now I'm already playing Jurassic Park with full motion videos in widescreen. People didn't know what widescreen during that time was, especially I got a few minutes. Talking about the controller. The controller itself has a start button that was saying play and stop. It has a stop button right there, pause and stop, A, B, C, and then track changing on the top. This is before PlayStation 2 came out with their controller of including DVD features. They also have add-ons for this, for you to play the VCD. If you heard of VCD, very popular in Hong Kong. The Philips CDI was known for making releases in the Virgin Megastore compact disc video. Looking at the back, okay, we can't look at that rat's nest. In the back has an already has an S-video output. You just use composite cables. You don't need no adapter to plug your console in, because that's how it's meant to be. Then later on PlayStation had that same feature, and then now you're required to buy that adapter. Now that same adapter also works on PS2 and PS3 as well. I have it over here on my PS2, modified PS2, but talking about this, is one of the coolest game consoles before PlayStation 1 came out. I had a cool game. It stars Sylvester Stallone. It actually had Sylvester Stallone in that game. I don't know how much they paid him, but it's called Demolition Man. It was one of the coolest games. I love that game. It was really cool. I don't know if you... There's some reviews on YouTube right now about that game. They have their props and highs and lows or whatever, but it was a first-person shooter, and plus first-person Doom-style gameplay beside point and shoot, like playing Area 51. That's what that game reminded me of years later. I got a few minutes, but looking at this is an adventure game. Instead of having a mouse, you're using the D-pad. This is Jurassic Park. And I'm going to swap the game now because that was really, really boring. Going on to the next. Jurassic Park. What else? Oh, right here. Total Eclipse. Let's test this out before my 2-minute mark. I already did a Daedalus Encounter. I don't really like that game. Why would I even try to bother playing that game? I don't like playing it on the 3DO. It's more fun to play it on the PC. It has a different interface. Total Eclipse was one of my favorite games. I discovered that game when I was playing it in Universal Studios in Hollywood, where they actually had a Panasonic 3DO plus Sega all in one game station, kind of like its own kiosk for you to play the games. And I remember I was very young that time. I was only like, I think 15 years old. And it was very interesting. I mean, just looking at those games, But these are the titles I have. And this is a retro review. I mean, look at it. And during that time, not a lot of people have a home CD player because it plays compact audio disc. Should I say it old school style? Yes, compact audio. What's missing right now is actually a cassette deck. But this is actually a great console. Oh man, you can hear my gooses. Oh, my dad is taming them. I live in a suburban neighborhood with housing units. But back to what I'm talking about. It looks like it won't load Total Eclipse. But let me see what it is. It actually plays burnt games as well. Well, to end the review right now, since my 10-minute mark is already ending, speaking so fast, you have to rewind to understand what you're saying. This is a cool console, highly collectible, and check it up on eBay. And there's a lot. My favorite game so far for it was Demolition Man. Thank you for watching.